Now on Fast Track News, housing costs in West Lafayette. We know how the university is addressing on-campus housing, but what about housing for students who live off-campus?
Plus, a look at how the conflict between Israel and Hamas is affecting students at Purdue.
And an update on the trial of Jimin Shah, the Purdue student accused of murdering his roommate last fall. All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back.
Welcome back to Fast Track, Boilers. It's Friday, October 20th. I'm Veda Kirsch.
And I'm Sebastian Lux. We begin our newscast with continuing coverage of the ongoing housing struggles for Purdue students. Rates are going up at many off-campus apartments. We are taking a look at just how high the prices are.
And how it's impacting Purdue students. Reporter Julia Prickett starts off our coverage with part 1 of our series.
As campus grows, Purdue has publicly commented on its own affordability. While the university costs have stayed relatively low, the influx of students has led to rent spikes in the area, with some locations growing up to 28%. Fast Track spoke with students to gain their perspective on Purdue's housing situation.
I feel like it's one of the biggest, problems associated with Purdue, in my opinion.
Yes, I believe over the past few years we've had this crisis.
It makes it a lot more stressful, I will have to say.
I know so many family friends and people who have considered Purdue but ended up, not committing because of the housing crisis. They were like, oh, I gained admission to the university but I can't find a place to live.
I think a year before, 2 years ago, I think, they were housing the freshmen in the gyms, right? And then this past year, they converted some of the doubles into triple rooms. They were doing that.
Last year I was staying in a triple in Wiley. It was not, it was a great experience with my boys, but I just would not want to live there again.
I heard the story of students camping overnight to try and get apartments off campus. So just overall, it's that's one of the reasons I decided to stay on campus, is just because I know it's it's crazy everywhere, just because of the over admittance of students.
It's crazy trying to find an apartment with the stress of academics already pressing on me, and everyone here I'm sure is in the same boat.
With future Boilermakers having issues with finding housing and current students worrying about how this will affect their college experience, this is the first episode of this developing story. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Julia Prickett.
It will be interesting to see what comes out of this developing story. We will continue to keep you up to date on Purdue's housing situation.
If you know someone with increasing rent rates or trouble with finding housing, send us a DM at Purdue Fast Track News on Instagram. We want to hear your story.
After a gloomy Thursday, we're finally starting to see the sun.
Meteorologist Lily Tordill is here with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, after a gloomy Thursday, we see the sun only later today. We are seeing some more rainfall this morning with a high of 59 today and a low of 44. Again, wind is still pretty high. We saw some high wind speeds in the past couple of days, and we're going to continue to see those for the next few days with gusts up to 21 miles an hour as well. Taking a look now at our hourly forecast. Again, high 59 today with continued high winds, but that rain clears out around 2 o'clock today. Then we finally get to see the sun coming up tomorrow. Again, high winds through the day and through tomorrow as well. Saturday is going to be pretty breezy, but high of 62. And then we get that sunshine for the next few days. But I will talk about when we see the rainfall next up in my full forecast.
On Saturday, October 7th, Hamas launched a deadly attack on Israel. Israel responded by declaring war on Hamas. Since then, days of fighting have followed.
Hamas has been labeled a terrorist organization by the U.S., and the militant group is currently in power in Gaza as innocent lives are in the crossfire. The conflict is having an impact that can be felt here on campus. This is video of the Hillel Center of Jewish Campus Life. You can see Israeli flags surround the building in support. They hosted an event for Shabbat that included prayers for protection and peace in Israel. Today, until 2 o'clock, Hillel will be outside of Walk along with other Jewish organizations on campus.
Also this week, Students for Justice in Palestine held an event called Tabling the Truth, Uncover the Facts. They're hoping to educate the Purdue community about Gaza and how to support the people there.
So we are teaching people about Gaza. Gaza, it's a one of the Palestinian territory, which is now under severe attack by Israel. And we are trying to tell them that there are 2 million people that are suffering.
SJP is also holding an event today at 5:30 at the Engineering Fountain. It's a protest called Stand with Palestine. According to court documents, a second request for a mental competency evaluation on Ji-Min Shaw was granted on Monday. The motion for another competency hearing was filed last week. Shaw remains in the Tippecanoe County Jail. The next status conference on the case is scheduled for December.
Sad news this week as we learned one Purdue student was killed and another injured in a car accident last weekend. It happened on the south side of Indianapolis. Both students were members of the Purdue University bass fishing team. Travis Ely and Hunter Heckman were traveling from a collegiate bass fishing event when the accident occurred, according to reporting by WTHR. There has been an outpour of support on social media for the friends and family of Ely. Ely was an avid fisherman and loved the outdoors. His family said, quote, "Most of all, his true passion was love for his family and being a friend to everyone. Travis always welcomed you with a smile and left by saying God is good." Purdue University confirmed Ely was a junior in the Polytechnic Institute. Support has also rallied around the injured Hunter Heckman, who is a freshman in biological sciences. There is no update on Heckman's condition at this time.
Purdue University, in collaboration with Chromic Duo from the East Coast, unveils the revolutionary stairwell installation. Located in the Chill Zone near Kroc Leadership Center, this blend of art and technology encourages wellness via interactive art. You can engage with captivating visuals and a unique soundtrack by Chromic Duo. Supported by multiple partners including Purdue Global and the Floral Roberts Fund, you can experience Stairwell until October 30th.
Up next, the university is making some real estate transactions. We'll explain what they are buying and swapping.
And still to come, the new way the university will honor the legacy of our superfan, Tyler Trent.
What is one message you would give to your fans?
I would just have to tell them to keep pursuing their dreams.
And cut. So just put a little more emphasis on pursue your dreams.
Okay, got it.
If you want to make movies, PSP is the best place to be.
Your ideas can come to life with our club.
One of the many benefits of being a part of PSP is actually the amount of gear we have available to rent to you for no charge at all and no experience necessary.
Join Purdue Student Productions today.
3, 2, 1.
Bringing you your campus forecast.
I'm Julia Prickett.
I'm Veda Kirsch. I'm Lily Tordill.
We are Fast Track Weather.
Purdue's Board of Trustees met earlier this month to decide some major projects for the university. Those projects included the purchase of land from sorority Chi Omega, likely to be used to expand the university into what many call the Island. Also taking place in the Island is the moving of campus ministry, the Wellesley Foundation, from its original spot right next to Cranor Graduate Center to 122 South Waldron Street. That is currently an open lot just next to Zeta Sorority. The open lot will be used to expand the Daniel School of Business. Trustees referenced how crucial the decisions were to keep both Chi Omega and the Wellesley Foundation in the heart of campus.
Also during last week's trustees meeting, the board approved the metrics on which President Mung Chiang's performance will be measured. You may remember the board's metrics for the president's at-risk pay were first introduced during President Mitch Daniels' presidency. And according to the university, President Chiang asked for that to continue under his tenure. So let's take a look. The metrics which the board will evaluate the president on are financial success, student success, research, reputation, and university initiatives.
In addition, the trustees voted to extend the contract of Purdue Athletics Director Mike Bobinski. Bobinski was named to the position in 2016. His new contract goes through June 30th, 2028. Bobinski is Purdue's 9th AD, and in a recent news release, President Chiang said, "Our student athletes are champions academically and athletically because of Mike's leadership that funnels through his administrators and coaches." He went on to say that Bobinski is America's best AD, and we are glad that he will continue to be a Boilermaker.
If you had an early class on Tuesday morning, you were probably sitting in the dark. That's because there was a large power outage affecting many buildings on campus. It happened around 8:15 a.m. Administrative Operations sent an email to students, faculty, and staff later that morning saying that the unplanned outage occurred during Duke Energy's attempt to repair previously damaged equipment connected to campus.
The last time Ohio State came to town, superfan Tyler Trent made a bold prediction that Purdue would win, and it came true.
Although there was no upset from Purdue football this year, his legacy will stay on campus always. More on that from reporter John Waterworth.
Fans gathered before the Ohio State game, having fun and remembering the last time the Buckeyes played here at Ross-Ade, a time when one young Boilermaker made a bold prediction. You may remember Tyler Trent, his prophetic predictions, and his impact on the sports world. Tyler was lost to cancer in 2019. But 4 years later, Purdue University announced the Tyler Trent Pediatric Cancer Center in his honor. It has been years since hearing his story and impact. But here's a Tyler Trent story you probably haven't heard yet.
Something that changed my life almost instantly, hearing a 20-year-old kid struggling with what he was struggling with, not wanting to cure his own cancer, not looking to do anything other than say, hey, next weekend Purdue is going to beat Ohio State, which that in itself was something that just unbelievable. And anybody who in that moment heard that and thought, man, that kid's right, you're a liar. And then to be here 5 years ago, we made the decision to come to the game. Because after hearing the story, how could you not want to be here? And so made the 3.5-hour trek here from Northern Illinois, and we were in the stands. We made it here just about midway through the first quarter. Purdue was up 7-0, which was exciting because we thought, hey, like, we got to see him lead one time in the game, and little did we know what was going to happen the rest of the night. And I mean, the rest is history. If you were there, you know. If you're not, you've seen the videos, you've seen the stories. But the most important thing that came out of October 20th, 2018 was Tyler's inspirational story. And it wasn't just a stadium full of football fans that he touched that night. It was an entire nation. And we saw that unfold over the next few months. And it's hard not to follow a story with someone like that and be motivated and impacted by it. And so just like Tyler drew me to Purdue 5 years ago to come to a game, being a former fan or being a fan of Purdue when I was a kid, coming back to Purdue wasn't a hard decision. And so now 5 years later, I'm a student at Purdue. I'm in the communications program, and I also get to follow my dreams while being here at Purdue. And the catalyst to this whole journey was started with Tyler Trent. And now being here and being back here 5 years later and being able to see how he's affected this place and how he's left a legacy on this place, it's inspiring. And again, like, he will be here forever. And last but not least, the most important thing for me, I've been asked this a couple of times the last couple of weeks, what's the most important thing about today? Because, I mean, it is the first time in 5 years that Purdue and Ohio State are meeting here at Ross-Ade. And honestly, it's for Tyler's parents, Tony and Kelly, to have, a great day, to see a smile on their faces, and to know that a stadium full of people 5 years later are here to support them and the legacy that their son left behind.
Trent was an inspiration and Purdue icon.
He left an imprint on both Purdue and the sports world.
Well, we had a few gloomy days and some cooler temperatures, but we are tracking a warm-up and some sunshine, but we do have some rainfall in our forecast later this week. I'll talk about that coming up.
The Center for C-SPAN, which is this organization, the CCSC, what we do is we facilitate like a bunch of organizations, different programs for Brian Lamb, which is the founder of C-SPAN. Anyone can be part of CCSC, whether it be through our various internships, our competitions, just to be involved, even like our student community meetings that we have every week. Anyone can go. You don't have to be communications or poli-sci. You just meet so many people. The connections you make is kind of crazy, the range that CCSC has. So yeah, it's just provided me so many opportunities to like kind of achieve the goals I have personally and forward to like whatever career paths I choose.
Football. It's the best time of the year. You know what else is great? The world's largest and fastest mascot. You can't have Purdue football without the trains. Look for the Reamer Club outside Stewart Center, 12 to 5 p.m. on Fridays before home football games, for your chance to ride the Boilermaker Special for free. See you then.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Lily Tordell here with Fast Track to give you your forecast. Starting off today, we've got a high of 59 and a low of 44, so we are on the cooler side today with wind speeds of sustained winds of 11 to 13 miles an hour and gusts of up to 21 miles an hour today. We are getting some rainfall early this morning, and it should end at about 2 p.m. Taking a look now at exactly when that shows up in my hour by hour, we're looking at, again, high 59 this afternoon with gusts of up to 21 miles an hour. So we are staying pretty windy and pretty cool. Again, we've got that rainfall early in the morning, but it does fade out to clouds and then to sunshine. Taking a look now at our weekend outlook, we're seeing, again, cloudy, rainy today, but breezy tomorrow and sunshine coming up for the beginning of this week. We've got consistent temperatures with mid to high 50s and low 60s. For now, we are tracking a warm up, though. We've got lows of 44 and 38, so it is going to be pretty cool overnight, so just make sure you're taking a jacket if you need to. It will be fairly cold and windy for the next couple of days. Taking a look now at the accumulated rainfall that we're seeing as well. Again, we had a pretty rainy yesterday, pretty rainy this morning today, and so we'll see only about a quarter to half an inch possible, especially in areas that may have had some thunder showers yesterday of accumulated rainfall. Nothing too extreme as we're seeing over in Ohio, though that is closer to an inch of rainfall. But here we're getting about quarter to half an inch possible, so we're not looking at any major flooding right now, but we do see some rainfall coming up later next week that will bring more rainfall. Taking a look now at my 7-day outlook. Again, sunshine for the beginning of the week, but we see that trend change and rainfall comes in Wednesday through Friday. We're taking a look 62, 55, 59, so pretty cool temperatures for the sunshine, but when the rain comes in, so do the warmer temperatures. We're seeing 71 and 76 on Wednesday, so those 70s are coming back for one last hit before we get consistent cooler temperatures. We're seeing 50 and 58 as our lows on Wednesday and Thursday, so the overnight lows are pretty cool at the beginning of the week, but do warm up for the end of the week. So just make sure, again, enjoy that sunshine while you can, even though it may be a little chilly, but pack an umbrella with you for the end of the week as it's going to rain.
Just ahead, we will look over how the Boilermakers fared against number 3 Ohio State this past weekend, as well as how Purdue volleyball did in their rematch against the Indiana Hoosiers this past Wednesday night.
I mean, every year is different, but it hasn't changed that much. Our league is just ominous, and you better lace them up tight and be ready to play every night. If not, you're going to get beat.
I'm Garrick Sarbieski, and welcome to Fast Track Sports. Purdue had a devastating loss against Ohio State, and reporter John Waterworth has the story.
I'm outside of Ross-Ade Stadium where the Purdue Boilermakers just lost to the Buckeyes, and it was devastating. However, there is still hope for the season. Last time Ohio State came to Ross-Ade, Tyler Trent predicted a major upset where Purdue would take down a high-ranking team. 5 years later, the Buckeyes came back with a vengeance. The Boilermakers struggled both offensively and defensively, losing the game 41-7. Deion Burks had the only touchdown for the Boilermakers throughout the entire game, and he did it in the fourth quarter. Devin Mockbee also had some notable carries, bringing in 110 yards with 18 carries. Overall, the loss tallies toward Purdue's 1-4 at-home game wins and losses. We'll have to see what the rest of the season holds in store for the Boilermakers. Until then, I'm John Waterworth for Fast Track.
Though Purdue wasn't expected to win the game, it was a game that at some points was tough to watch. Next up, Purdue volleyball. After losing an intense matchup in Wilkinson Hall last week in Indiana, The Boilermakers bounced back strong, defeating the Hoosiers 3-1. Purdue had a season-high 16 blocks in the game against Indiana, with Raven Colvin leading the way with 11 blocks in the game. In a post-game press conference, head coach Dave Shondell referred to Colvin as the most relentless middle blocker in America. Lourdes Myers also reached a career-high 10 kills against the Indiana Hoosiers, but Eva Hudson stole the show, sporting 19 kills in the game. All 4 sets were tightly contested, with Purdue only outscoring Indiana 68-65 in total. The win against Indiana also marks 14 straight home wins against the Hoosiers in Holloway. This will improve Purdue to 12-6 on the season and 6-3 in Big Ten play. On Sunday, Purdue will take on Penn State, who is currently ranked number 11 in the country and number 3 in the Big Ten. Following that, Purdue also has 2 Big Ten games coming up against Wisconsin, who is currently ranked number 1 in the country and is yet to lose a game. Purdue men's basketball found out earlier this week that they will head into their home opener against Samford, ranked number 3rd team in the country according to the AP poll. This is the 7th time in the last 9 years that Purdue has been ranked in AP's top 25 heading into the season. This marks the highest preseason ranking for Purdue men's basketball since the 1987-1988 season, where they were ranked number 2 in the preseason polls. When the season starts, this will be the 17th straight weeks with Purdue ranked in the top 5, which is the current longest streak in the nation. The only other Big Ten team to be joining the Boilermakers in the top 25 this year will be Michigan State and Illinois. This is a highly anticipated season for the Boilermaker team that is returning all 5 of their starters from last season, headlined by national reigning Player of the Year, Zach Edey. Some other non-conference matchups to keep an eye on for Purdue is in the top 25 is number 11 Gonzaga, number 12 Arizona, and number 24 Alabama. Also coming up this week, Purdue basketball season is heading up really quickly, and Purdue men and women's basketball teams will be hosting their annual fan day this week in Mackey Arena. The women's team will start their activities at 10 o'clock in the morning with an open practice and scrimmaging. Following their practice will be an autograph session that will last for about an hour with both the men and women's teams doing an autograph session. Following that, once the autograph session is over, the men's team will hold a practice and a scrimmage starting at 1. Kids will have the opportunity to draw their own Purdue basketball jerseys to submit for the chance to win tickets to a Purdue men's basketball team this year. This will be the only chance for you to see the men's basketball team before their exhibition match on November 1st against Grace College, which will be an exhibition. The women's team will also have an exhibition match on October 29th against Quincy. Fans should know that the ticket office and John Purdue Club representatives will be available from 10 to 1 to purchase tickets. The team store and select concession stands will also be available to fans operating on a cashless basis only. Parking will be available in the surrounding parking lots at Mackey Arena. Purdue Rugby also had an exciting matchup against the Wisconsin Badgers this week. The Purdue club team ended up falling short 31-22 in the first side, but in the second side they ended up bouncing back strong, coming up 44-36 over the Badgers. The Boilermakers have a 2-week bye before they take on the Indiana Hoosiers on October 28th. Indiana is also coming off a bye after a win against Illinois, so the upcoming game against Purdue should be an exciting matchup. That's a wrap for sports. I'm Garrick Sarbiewski. Fast Track will be back after this short break.
Are you looking for a new hobby?
Or you want to have a fun evening with your friends?
Then come climb to new heights at the Co-Rec Climbing Wall.
Now it's time for our question of the week. It's a stressful time, and we want to know, how do you practice self-care and de-stress?
Sydney Hollingsworth talked to students. Here's what they told her.
What sort of things do you do on campus to de-stress or practice self-care?
Okay, so to de-stress, I'm a big fan of just like playing sports and hanging out with people. So I do a lot of IMs. I try to go to the gym when I can, but homework load sometimes doesn't really let that happen. But then otherwise, I'm a big, like I said, big sports fan. Love going to Purdue football, Purdue basketball, and just hanging out with friends in the free time and on the weekends.
Probably cook some good food, take a lot of showers, and take a lot of walks, usually.
I really like going around on walks because it's a really beautiful campus.
Sometimes like running or something, or going to the co-rec.
I like to go to the gym, like to work out.
Sitting in the garden by Powell Hall is also really nice.
So usually I just take this board around for a spin, like late at night if I'm feeling stressed after a bunch of homework. Just go around campus, like ride it down this road, or just like by Armstrong or somewhere.
Lily is back with one final check of the forecast.
Sounds like drier weather compared to last week. Maybe a good time to grab one of those fall festive drink. Veda, what is your favorite fall drink?
Personally, I love a good pumpkin spice latte. But Lily, can you tell us a bit about the weather?
Taking a look now at a final look at our forecast, we're seeing, again, mid-50s, high 50s, mid to low 60s for the beginning of our week with cool lows of 35, but we are seeing that sunshine. Now, we do have a warm-up that we're tracking, but it does come with some rainfall. Again, 76 and rainy on Wednesday, and we're continuing with that rainfall for late next week. So make sure you pack an umbrella, but really enjoy that sunshine while you can, but bring a jacket. It's going to be cool.
Thank you, Lily. This week on social media, check out Purdue's exciting news and upcoming events in our story. A quick peek at our question of the week featuring student stress relief tips and lots of interesting behind-the-scenes content.
Reporters Julia Prickett and John Waterworth will provide initial insights into housing issues and the past tailgate. Plus, our sports anchor Garrig Sabareski will highlight the sports coverage for the week. Follow us on Instagram at Purdue Fast Track News and stay tuned for all the latest news, weather, and sports. Thanks for watching Fast Track News. We will be back next Friday.
Until then, be sure to check out our social media and our YouTube channel. Have a great weekend, Boilermakers.
We are energetic, we are motivating, and we are unique.
I don't think you can beat Quidditch.
Hi there, my name is Vikram Jaithlak and I'm the founder and president of the Purdue chapter of the University Blood Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've been able to collect over 300 pints of blood to be donated to local hospitals, and you can be the next one to help out.
I donate my blood at the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative.
Hi, I just donated blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Alright, I donated my blood through the University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
And I donated my blood at University Blood Initiative at Purdue.
Hello everyone, my name is Orion DeWitt. I am president of the Purdue Student Production Student Organization.
And I'm Mari Gergel. I am the publicist of the club.
The club is open to any student of any major, and we have opportunities for any club member to rent gear, which includes cameras, tripods, lights, anything you really need to make your own movie.
What's best is that you can help in any way that you want, so you can be an actor or help in the crew, be part of the cinematography, anything that you want, and you can make this an experience that is meaningful for you.
You should join Purdue Student Productions because it's a great networking opportunity for students both in production major and out of the production major.
If you want to get involved with the club, you can find us on BoilerLink or on Instagram at Purdue Student Productions. So if you want to make your own movies or be an actor, join PSP today.